funny? All right, this next guy, I'll tell you, this guy is a regular at clubs all over the country. Folks, he just recently worked with Jimmy Walker, and he also worked with, who was the other guy? I wrote it down, I don't know. Tim Allen, everybody, please welcome. Now, this guy's very funny, and you guys are going to love him. Please welcome the comedy, just back from Vegas, Mr. Jeff Dwoskin, everybody. Jeff Dwoskin. Keep it going for Joel and Mark. Yeah, keep it going for everybody. You guys having a good time so far? All right. I was all excited to come here today. I got my hair cut. How do I look? Do I look good? Yeah? Looking good. And the lady, when she was cutting my hair, she chopped off a piece of my ear. And you can't see it, but I took the bandage off and she cut my ear. I was bleeding for hours. I went to go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, it's just going to keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding, but you're going to be fine. Am I right, ladies? All right? You with me? Oh, man. So, how about this weather, huh? This weather's crazy. Rain, hot. Oh, my God. My kids love the summer. They're so excited for the summer, but they love the winter. They love the winter. Their favorite thing to do is build a snowman. They love it. And their favorite thing to do is build it with their dad. And I gotta admit, I love doing it with them. I do. But I'm a little lazy. So what I like to do is we just build the head, and then we pretend it's buried up to its shoulders. Then we poke it with a stick and say stuff like, tell us where the treasure is, snowman. And it doesn't talk, you know, so then you gotta turn to the dog and you're like, Samson, make him yellow. Oh, man. So, what can I tell you? Married, I've got all girls. I think one of the greatest moments ever was witnessing the birth of my first child. I remember like it was yesterday, we started heading to the hospital, and my wife's water breaks in the car. And she starts freaking out. We're never going to make it! We're never going to make it! Finally, I turn to her and I say, honey, then drive faster. That whole thing is crazy, you know, the whole process is crazy. You got every doctor and nurse coming in, checking your wife's dilation. So one guy comes in, he's examining my wife, he says, Mrs. Dwoskin, you're about 2 centimeters. And then he turns and he winks at me, and he says, you're a very lucky man. And I'm like, weren't you just in the hallway pushing the snack cart? I'm like, can I get security in here? Yeah, before you take away the man that touched my wife, can I get a cupcake? Next thing I remember is the doctor saying the word episiotomy, which I later learned is it's Latin for, your wife's not going to want to be with you for a very long time. It's ironic. The one thing that got you there, first thing they take away. But in the end, it's all worth it. Baby gets showered with gifts. Wife even got flowers from the snack cart guy. So, that was cool. You guys have kids? You guys have kids? Cool. It doesn't matter. It was but the doctor was kind of pulling the baby out, right? He's pulling the baby out, and he hands me this cutting utensil because he wants me to cut the umbilical cord, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, Doc, you want me to cut my wife? I mean, shouldn't I practice first on something? Like, I don't know, a mannequin, or a fetal pig, or a single mom with no insurance? Something. What? Just jump in there? What? That is a pre-Obama healthcare joke. That's what that is. Once everyone has healthcare, I can't do that joke anymore. I'm all frustrated. So frustrated. Okay, love that joke. When the baby was born, her head was shaped like a cone. It was a cone-headed baby. I've got no idea how this works. No idea at all. My best guess is that the abode has a cathedral ceiling. I'm glad you got that. I did that joke last week in Taylor. I lost half the audience on the word abode. And the other half on cathedral. One guy on ceiling. That was weird. So when my wife was pregnant, during the first trimester, you get the ultrasound. That's baby's first picture, right? But now they got this new thing. It's 3D imaging. You can actually take a 3D picture of the baby in the womb. But here's the weird part. You get to pick the background and the scene. And what proud parent would want to see their 3D baby fetus on a fake $100 bill? That's what I'm talking about. But Time Magazine's 3D baby fetus of the year. Yeah, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Or my favorite, a little poster that says, "You think you've had a rough day? I've had it up to here." I'm a fetus. I didn't get that. I was a fetus there. I was a fetus. Love watching TV. I love game shows. Love game shows. My wife and I have this little game show at the house. It's called I Can't Win! And my wife's the host. It's just round after round of questions I can't answer fast enough. You know? Do I look fat in this? When are you coming home? What do you want for dinner? I knew that one! I knew that one. Steak. It must be steak. And this crazy game show, it's the contestant that gives away all the cash and fabulous prizes. And it always ends the same way with the lightning round, which is a reference to how fast she tries to spend all my money without me noticing. And the worst part is, the show is on every day. Oh, man. Served jury duty recently. That was cool. I don't know. Everyone tries to get out of it. I don't know why. You give money. That was kind of cool. And so when you're serving jury duty, you watch the trial, and then the first thing you do is you go back into the jury room and you elect a jury foreman. It is an elected position. And I ran, and I won. Yeah, based primarily on my knowledge of CSI. But the cool part about being jury foreman is that you get to read the verdict. So after we finished deliberating, went out there and I was so excited and I jump up and I'm like, "You're guilty!" And everyone's going crazy and the judge is banging her gavel and she's like, "Sir, that's the janitor." And I look at him and he winks at me and I'm like, "Hey, weren't you the snack cart guy?" Oh, man, this is a cool place. This is actually a nice little backdrop. I think that's what the band really looked like. But they, you don't get to do comedy in cool places like this all the time. Sometimes bowling alleys. Bowling alleys are huge with comedy clubs. And I was at this place about a month ago with Steve, your headliner. And between shows, we got hungry, and we went to the bowling alley grill. And they had a sign posted there that said, "Undercooked meat may increase your risk of a foodborne illness." And I'm thinking to myself, I was about to eat at a bowling alley. I pretty much assumed that risk. You want to feel really good about yourself, go to a bowling alley on league night and just walk up and down the lanes. The self-esteem issues just fade away. Work a lot in Canada. Love this one club in Windsor. And what I love most about it, in the men's bathroom, they have a vending machine. And in the vending machine, it dispenses women's perfume. And I always wanted to meet the guy that would buy that and then try and pass it off on his lady friend. You know, and be like, "Hey, honey. Hey. Yeah, you. Yeah, if you're wondering where I was in the bathroom, and while I was in there, I discovered a scent I thought would be perfect on you." It's like, "Hey, where are you going? Come back. Come back. I also bought a condom." Canada's crazy though. I don't know if you guys get over there, but like the border, they're so tough at the border. They confiscated my Monopoly game. Apparently they're not allowed to bring that much money into their country. I think they're afraid I'd buy up all their properties. I just bought the Detroit version Monopoly. It's kind of like the original version, except all little houses come dilapidated. One of the hotels is a crack house. And the properties start out mortgaged. And you gotta know the rules. That's funny if you know the rules. My daughter, she had a birthday recently, and she got this toy phone, and it has all these buttons and makes all these noises, and I was playing with it, and I hit one of the buttons, and it said, the number you have dialed has been disconnected. And I'm like, whoa, they're making these a little too realistic these days. And a little later that day, I see my daughter, and she's got this stressed look on her face, and I'm like, honey, what's wrong? And she's like, I've been on hold for 20 minutes. And I'm like, then hang up. And she said, but I love this song. So the kids are playing house, and they're like, Daddy, play house with us, play house with us. And I'm like, all right, I'll play house with you. What do you want me to be? And they're like, you be the tree. I'm like, the tree? They're like, yeah, you be the tree. So like, all right. So I'm like, the tree, right? 3 hours later, I'm like, this is bullshit. And so I fall in their house. I got one daughter crying. I got the other one on hold with the insurance company. I'm razzing her. I'm like, you know, it's not going to be covered. Adopted a kitten recently at the Humane Society. I don't know if you've ever done that, but you can't just go there, grab a kitten and run. They put you through a strict adoption process because they want to be damn sure that putting this kitten in my care is a better option than their 7-day death sentence. And they take it real seriously too. The woman looks at me and says, sir, kittens can live to be 18 years of age. Are you prepared for that type of commitment? And I said, ma'am, my mother-in-law is allergic to cats. It's welcome to live as long as it wants. That's my time. I'm Jeff Dwoskin. Thank you very much.